All right, guys. So I got a little bit of a hot take right now. So we're getting ready to record. All right. Bree texts me. She's like, "Hey, you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah. We're good. We're good to go." And she's like, "All right." She waited for me until I responded to her, and I responded. I responded in 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. And then I sent her a Zoom link. I'm sitting here in front of my computer for 8 minutes, staring at it like an idiot, waiting for the invitation. And then I realized that nearly 10 minutes have passed. I FaceTime her. Her daughter answers, looking like a complete fool, just face right in the camera, just like, "What are you doing calling me?" And I said, "The hell." Uh, her, she runs like a just a fool, just right over to Bree, hands it to a bigger fool, and then this bigger fool goes, "Hey, why are you calling me?" I go, "Hey, I've been waiting here for like 8 minutes." She goes, "What do you mean? I waited for you forever." And I said, "Hold on." I go back to the messages. 1 minute passed, maybe 1 minute, 12 seconds at the max. And that was her. That was her definition of waiting for me. And she gave up very, very fast. That's my story.
I don't wait for long. It's either now or never with me at all times.
So yeah, that's how my morning went. Welcome to True Crime Thursdays.
Welcome back to
Horrorsoup, baby.
this episode of True Crime Thursdays. I almost said Tuesdays.
I would like to welcome Bree. My name is Caleb. This is a show.
It is a radio show. Yeah.
That's what we're calling it now. That's fine. Oh, Bree, what are we discussing today?
Today we will be discussing the terrible, god-awful toolbox murderers,
Yeah,
toolbox murderer killers, god-awful human beings. I fucking hate them, and I hope they burn.
I really
They
don't
burn in
want to
hell.
discuss this one.
I think I messaged you like a week ago, and I was like, dude, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I'm having trouble sleeping at night. Like this one has gotten to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's fucked me up a little bit, especially like just learning new shit about it every single day, and it just gets progressively worse and worse. It's not fun. It's not a fun case.
No, it's not. This has been very real for a good while now, but it's a little too real now, and I'm going to step out.
It's uh are you Caleb's gone. All right.
Yeah, I'm just going to move on with my day. Goodbye.
Okay, so to start off, I'm gonna give one giant fucking trigger warning. Today's episode is pretty saturated with like sexual abuse and just torture and rape. So if you don't want to hear any of that, I totally understand. Go ahead and click off, and probably
It's
won't find anything any better on our episodes. So
yeah, it's pretty much all the stuff that you want to hear but don't want to hear at the same time. So just
yeah,
be aware.
it's extremely fucked up. It's this yeah, like I said, this shit's getting to me.
Yeah, this is one of the
Okay,
worst cases that we've talked about easily. Like, I mean, we've talked about some really fucked up
top
cases,
three.
but this one's really bad.
This is my least favorite one.
Oh, well, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, the Toolbox Killers were two American serial killers who kidnapped, tortured, raped, and murdered five teenage girls between June 24th and October 31st, 1979. These two dudes were Lawrence Sigmund Bittaker and Roy Lewis Norris. They became
Boo,
known.
Bittaker. Boo, Norris.
Bittaker
Boo.
is literally the embodiment of the devil, in my opinion.
He isn't the embodiment of an ugly bitch. He looks.
Yeah,
They
he's
they
fucking.
both look terrible.
Bittaker looks like if Frank Gallagher had a bowl of crack for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then as a midnight snack every day for like 100 years.
I Yeah, it's a good explanation.
But yeah, so they were named the Toolbox Killers because most of like the tools that they used to like torture these poor girls were what you would find in your common toolbox. An example, pliers, ice picks, and sledgehammers. All that good stuff.
Those are not items you want to deal with.
Oh no. It's
Unless you were building a bookshelf.
would you need a sledgehammer for a bookshelf?
Well, you need like a rubber mallet for like the back.
A rubber mallet.
Get the nails in.
Fair enough. Lawrence was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on September 24th, 1940. That makes him an old-ass bitch. He was about 2 years old when his birth parents gave him up to an orphanage. What you get?
Can I spoil something?
Go ahead.
He dead.
Oh yeah, he did.
Died recently. Very glad.
Very, very recently, yes.
Very, very happy about this. It's gonna make me feel a little better about the story, but also not whatsoever, so that's cool.
I'm not a religious person, but if there is a hell, this guy's in the deepest part of it.
This guy is in Satan's fucking butt crack, licking the shit out of it, and I'm glad.
And
I hope it's burning. I hope he just ate a lot of Mexican food, and it is just. It's not a place.
He went and he ate some aguachile, and now, yeah, it's not going good for Bittaker down there. Or
wait,
so
water chilies?
Aguachile? It's like shrimps cooked in the lemon juice.
Okay, so agua is water and chili's chili, so water chili.
No, but they're shrimps cooked in. That's what it's called.
So shrimp water chili?
They're cooked in like lemon and lime juice. They're not actually like fried. They're just cooked from the acidity in the lime juice. And they're in like a really spicy sauce with like onions and all this other good shit.
So it's shrimp and water sauce with chili.
If you want to call it that, then you go right ahead.
I
personally think it's delicious.
Crack the code.
Very spicy. I love it.
Cracked it.
Okay, so Mr. Larry was adopted by Mr. and Mrs. George Bittaker. His father, George, worked at aircraft factories, which required the family to move all around the United States, from Pennsylvania to Florida, then to Ohio, and finally planted their roots in California. God damn, why is everything in California, dude?
It's always either California or Florida. We're both fucked. Just the ends of the United States are just... Don't go to any corner.
That one meme where it's like, why is it whenever something's wrong, it's always you two, and it's California and Florida?
It's true. It's fucking true. I can't deny that at all.
It's so fucking true,
We're
dude.
a bunch of shitheads. Florida sucks. California sucks. Fuck all
California, of them. Like, I just feel like we have the most serial killers, though. Like, the famous ones, at least. Like,
we got a lot of them, dude. They're fucking... I don't trust Californers.
Yeah, I'm moving out of this godforsaken shithole.
Let's go.
So, back to the song. What's crazy is that Bittaker had an IQ of 138, but he dropped out of high school in 1957 after multiple run-ins with the law. And
being an idiot will do that to you.
Prosecutor, his name is Stephen K. He is the fucking best. I love him so much. He said, he was like, Bittaker had an IQ of 138, but he had no common sense. Like, that's usually how that goes. When people are really book smart, they tend to not have a lot of common sense.
You're kind of in between that spectrum.
Yeah, no, I know I am, and I'm fine with this. I'm not too book smart, but smart.
You're like pretty street smart in some stuff, and then terrible in other places, and then you're really book smart in some places, and then you just fall off the deep end.
I just drowned. That's it. Okay. Shortly after dropping out, he was arrested for car theft, leaving a hit-and-run scene, and evading arrest. So he stole a car, left a hit-and-run scene, and then ran away from the cops. He was put into California Youth Authority until he was 19 years old. Shortly after his release, he was arrested yet again after violating the Interstate Motor Vehicle Theft Act, which I think that just means he stole some more cars.
Tell them what you said last time.
Oh, yeah. Last time I thought it was something to do with a motorcycle. But it's not.
She was like, yeah, motor theft, motorcycle, of course. Other things other objects can't have motors.
He was stealing mopeds.
It's just the cycles. If it has in the name, it has a motor, idiot. Fuck off, Caleb.
Shut up, Caleb. I think I did get defensive too. I was like,
you did.
Shut up.
No, you did. That's basically what I got from it last time, and I was like, well, here we are.
Oh fuck, dude. God, I'm sweating right now.
Yeah, I love the Adventures of Brie.
Yeah,
Makes me
it's a
sweat
fun
too.
time. It's a fun time. Sometimes it's fun. Other times it's not too fun.
It's a disaster on fire. It's Travis Scott holding a microphone on fire. Except it's not fun. It's not fun at all.
Oh my god. Okay, so anyways, he was convicted in August 1959 and he was sentenced to 18 months in an Oklahoma prison.
I just
Soon
want to
after this,
say this episode is so much better than the first one we recorded.
oh yeah, dude, the first one we recorded, I was just like, I got to literally the second paragraph and I was like, I'm fucking up. Like, nope. This is
Brie was fucking up and she was reading and I was just sitting here just like slumped
pissed.
and like I had a headache and I was just like, I want this to end. And then by the end of it, I think I said 3 words. I looked at my audio file and I was like, I think we need to redo this because I said like 5 words this whole time. Move on, carry on.
Okay, so yeah, after he went to the Oklahoma prison, he was moved to a medical institution in Missouri for his behavior. He was released after only serving 6 months of his sentence. In December of 1960, he was arrested yet again for car theft and was sentenced to 1 to 15 years in May 1961. I just feel like that's a very like large space in between the two numbers. What is that?
My pants, the pants are off.
Pants are off. I would love to take my pants off right now, but I can't.
Woman problems. Am I right, guys? Am I right, fellas?
Oh, you're right. I mean, I technically could. You could only see the top half of my body, but
Yeah, exactly. You can't even see that my pants are off, but you know.
I know they're off. I thought they've been off, to be honest.
I thought they were too, and then I realized they weren't, and I had a bad time. So.
We'll see. Oh. Sorry, that was my mother-in-law. Gonna have to cut that out.
Yeah, I'll find it. It's like 12 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. She was offering me food.
Oh, real quick. You're not doing it at all right now, but I just want to remind you, just because yesterday, another thing too, I wasn't doing shit, so I can't talk. But you were doing a lot of like ums and oh my god and stuff like that, and that's stuff that I do all the time that I hate. So I just want to throw it out to you.
Okay.
Because I do that all the time, and I literally like I've noticed with my editing lately, since I'm going through editing stuff, that's what I cut out the most. I go like, and then I go like, oh my god, and then I'm like, and like I was like, oh my fucking god, I do this entirely too often. So I just want to let you know because I didn't realize how much I did it. So
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
So after he was sentenced to the fucking weird-ass sentence of 1 to 15 years, in May of 1961, a psychiatric evaluation was made, and they determined Bittaker to be a paranoid and borderline psychotic.
The butt-fuck dipshit defense. Yes.
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 With little to no control over his impulses. Despite all this shit, he was released in 1963, where he was picked up yet again for parole violation and suspected robbery. And
Wait,
then
was this the dumb one?
What do you mean?
Was this the really dumb one?
What do you mean the dumb one?
The
dumb man?
The grocery store incident?
Oh no, I'm getting to that right now.
When do we get? I want to get to that. I have some stuff to say.
Okay, so yeah, when he was in prison, he was evaluated again and determined yet again to be borderline psychotic. In July of 1967, he was arrested for theft and leaving a hit-and-run scene. He was sentenced to 5 years, but was released in April 1970. However, he was arrested in March 1971 for parole violation and burglary and was sentenced to 6 months to 15 years in October and only served 3 years of that sentence.
Okay, let's throw this guy in a hole. Let's bury the hole.
We're getting to the supermarket incident.
Okay, let's get there.
He was arrested again when he stabbed a supermarket employee just an inch below the heart. Bittaker had tried to steal a steak, and the employee followed him out to the parking lot, where he was then stabbed.
Rewind! Hold on. Hold the fuck up.
How big was the steak? Was it worth stabbing a guy over? Like,
how hungry are you?
He's I mean, he had a good job.
So not that hungry. Okay, that leads me to another fucking rabbit hole. What the fuck are you doing stabbing people over a steak? You're telling me at this point, if you really want to stab, you can't go and stab an animal? Like, I don't approve of that either, but you know what? Like, what the fuck? Like, that's how other people get steak, so maybe get into hunting. I mean, I don't eat meat anymore, so maybe I'm coming off as a shit fuck. But you know what?
Possibly.
What the fuck? I personally don't think that like any life is more important than another. So personally, don't do either on my
It's
end.
just crazy.
But
Like,
what the fuck is your logic here?
he got caught stealing a steak, and instead of just like handing it back to him, he decides to like kill him, and his intent was to kill him because it was aiming for the heart.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. You're not going to hand back the steak. If you're stealing a steak, you're committing to stealing a steak. You're a fucking steak thief. What else are you
feel
going
like
to do?
this went from 0 to 100 very quick. Like,
no, yeah, maybe you didn't need to
not have
stab
to go
him. Maybe you just run with the steak, if anything. You know, like I don't think it's worth all of that. You could have got another steak off of something else, maybe, you know, but you just.
I mean, and it was the 70s, so steaks were probably pretty cheap.
I'm just gonna steal Christy Elliott's bit again. You're jumping off the fucking plane with Skittles, bro. I don't know. It's just.
So luckily, the employee lived, and Bittaker was convicted of attempted murder. He was imprisoned at the California Men's Colony in San Luis Obispo, where he met none other than Roy Norris.
That means they were fucking, right? The Men's Colony.
Probably. Men's Colony. Yeah, that's a weird name.
Is that the name of the prison?
I think so. Yeah, that's what it's called.
That's a really weird name for a prison. I thought that was like a brothel.
Colony.
Yeah, I thought that was like. I thought they were.
Men brothel?
I thought they were like jerking each other off in like a movie theater or something. That doesn't sound like a prison. But you know, I mean, whatever you want to do, that's fine with me. It's fine.
Moving on to Roy. He had a pretty normal childhood, but it's also known that like he was like a misfit. Like he didn't really fit in with anybody. Didn't really have a lot of friends. Like he was just kind of a loner.
Well, yeah. Have you smelled the guy?
Have you seen the man? He looks like he smells like eggs. He ended up dropping out of high school at 17 and joining the Navy. Ooh. He spent most of his time in San Diego, California, and served 4 months in Vietnam. And he saw no combat during his time there.
I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure he didn't.
There's no excuse for like PTSD or any type of shit like that. You saw no combat. You didn't go through anything fucking stressful. Like, there's no excuse for this now.
Don't tell me you did anything when you were sitting in a fucking dirt hole that you dug out and you were jerking off and burning yourself with a cigarette. Like, are you fucking kidding me? No, you didn't do anything, Bittaker. You're an idiot.
This is Norris.
Shut up, Norris. You idiot. I thought we were still on Bittaker. Okay, I got lost for a second.
No, we're on Norris now.
Well, they're both idiots, so that's fine.
Yeah, they both equally suck.
I'm sure they both did the same thing in Nam.
I don't think Bittaker was in Nam.
I'm sure he wasn't his head.
Fucking psychotic ass.
Yeah, you kidding me?
Okay. Back in San Diego, Roy was arrested for attempted rape in November 1969. And about 3 months later, while out on bail before his trial, he was caught trying to attack a woman in her home. Luckily, the cops showed up before anything had happened. He was discharged from the Navy for psychological problems.
How about discharge from the Navy for being a shit fuck? Like, let's get him out of here.
Yeah, it's next in May of Next in May of 1970, he was still out on bail. He attacked a young female student on the San Diego State University campus. He had jumped this girl from behind, hitting her on the head several times with a rock before slamming her head multiple times into the concrete.
Jesus.
It's very violent. I don't know why he was freed after this. I don't understand it, but carry on. Luckily, the woman survived, so Roy was charged with assault with a deadly weapon. He was then sent to Atascadero State Hospital, where he was listed as a sex offender.
Atascadero.
Is that what it's called?
I'm pretty sure. Like I said that last time as a joke, but yeah, I've heard that before. I'm pretty sure it's Atascadero.
It's Atascadero. Atascadero?
I think that's
Is it
Atascadero. It's like Atascadero. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Don't.
Yeah, he only spent 5 years here, but we all know that man should have probably stayed in there, and a lot of people wouldn't have lost their lives. But
no, yeah, throw him in a hole. It's fine.
He was released because he was considered no further a danger to others. Only 3 months. Yeah. Can you believe that? Like, a fucking professional sat down with this man, and they're like, okay, you've raped a woman, you've tried to attack a woman, and you almost killed somebody by hitting her head with a rock.
You're
Yeah, you're
cleared.
free to go.
You're good to go. You're good to go. Get on out of here. Go live your life. You're perfect. I think you should get a job with children.
Oh yeah, amazing. Only 3 months after Roy's release, he attacked and raped a 27-year-old woman. He was convicted of forcible rape and was sent to California Men's Colony in San Luis Obispo.
Did you say forcible rape?
Yeah. Isn't all rape forcible?
I was just going to say, is that actually like spelled out somewhere?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Forcible rape, yeah. Okay. Men's Colony, San Luis Obispo, he met Lawrence Bittaker. He stated that Bittaker had saved his life twice while in prison, which quote unquote bound him to Bittaker according to prisoner's code.
How did he even save? How did he save his life? He probably like walked by, some guy didn't give him a muffin at lunchtime, and he was like, "Hey, dude, you better give him that muffin." And the guy was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to give you that muffin." And then the guy was like, "No, really, give him the muffin." And then Bittaker just took a muffin out of the trash can. He was like, "Dude, I saved your life."
Dude, so in prison, like, prisoners will find out, like, what you did to get there. And I'm pretty sure they found out what the fuck Norris did and were, like, trying to beat his ass. And being the piece of shit that Bittaker is, he went to go save his fucking life.
Oh, shit, I've mixed up the names again. Sorry. I keep fucking... sorry, I mixed them up. They're both equally as shitty. Yeah, on that even, it really baffles me, like, how long they protected these men in prison and how they did not get killed much earlier. Because, I mean, they died from natural causes, right?
Both of them, yeah.
I think that is ridiculous. The fact that these men lived that long in prison and were protected for that long and were not torn to fucking bits. Like, even Dahmer, like, I'm not defending Dahmer by any means whatsoever, but Dahmer was definitely a lot more remorseful than these men were, and he got ripped to fucking shreds in prison.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is up with that. They should have gotten their butt cheeks handed to them on a platter for doing what they did, but they didn't. Maybe it's just California prisons. I'm not really sure.
Dude, that is fucking baffling to me.
All right,
these guys were alive for so long.
Sorry, we're going to have to pause. Susie just opened the fucking door. Okay, so while the two were in prison, they would discuss the ways that they would capture and rape the women when they got out. Bittaker had said that he had never raped a woman before, but he was interested in trying it. They had ideas to go after girls as young as 13 and as old as 19. I can't imagine, like, sitting down with somebody and
having a plan for
something
this.
And discussing something so fucking fucked up, dude. Like, it's, like, and they were just talking about it like it was, like their hobbies, dude.
I literally have to get drunk just to listen to this right now.
Dude, I have drank every single day while researching this case. Like, it's affected me in a very, very weird way, and it scarred me. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
disclaimer: when she gets too drunk, she stops researching.
No.
Okay.
Not true. I was fucking wasted last night, and I still did more research.
Bree's a functioning alcoholic.
Yes, I am. So Norris was released on parole in January of 1979, just about 2 months after Bittaker. After his release, he moved to Los Angeles with his mom in a trailer park, where it's believed him and his mom had an incestuous relationship. Now, I could not find any evidence to back that up, but there is something that comes up later in the case that makes me believe it to be true.
We don't like people that fuck their mothers.
Now, I don't know if this was, like, consensual with his mother, if she was, like, participating, or if this was rape, but yeah.
I think they're both fucked.
Yeah, I hear you on that one.
Had something to do with it. That's my 2 cents.
So with Norris's Navy training, Norris does Navy training. Navy training. He landed a job as an electrician. It was pretty good paying, not too bad of a pay, and for a fucking person with, like, a huge background of raping women and being in jail and mental institutions, like, that's a pretty good fucking job.
Huge background of idiot.
Bittaker was also living in LA, and he got a good paying job as a machinist. It's fucking insane. He made, I think they said with overtime, he made almost six figures a year.
Okay, so let me make sure I didn't fuck it. You said Bittaker?
Bittaker made almost six figures a year with overtime.
And who stole the steak?
Bittaker.
Bittaker. All right, Bittaker. Take a step back. Buy a steak.
Yeah.
All right.
It's rough,
All right.
dude.
All right.
In February of 1979, the two meet up at a downtown bar and get to drinking and talking about their longtime plans, rekindling their fucking little shitty friendship. Their first step was to buy a van, and I fucking hate this part.
I hate vans.
Bittaker bought a 1977 GMC cargo van, which they unfortunately nicknamed the Murder Mac.
Are you Scooby-Doo? Like, for real, are you fucking Scooby-Doo? Do you think you're the fucking mystery-solving gang? Of torture? Like, what the fuck?
It's honestly how, like, playful they are about it. Like,
that's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm trying to equate to. Because, like, you know, Scooby-Doo and his gang went around solving these terrible mysteries, but they were like, oh, ha, 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 we caught you. What the fuck? You can't... This pisses me off.
Two grown men, dude. It had not, fuck that up. It had no side windows in the back and, of course, a sliding passenger door. From February to June of that year, they would go on what they called test runs. They drive up and down Pacific Coast Highway and stop at beaches and shit to talk to younger girls and even taking their pictures.
I didn't do that. I smoked weed and cried.
Yeah. I've never drove up and down Pacific Coast Highway, actually.
Yeah, I just cried. I was different.
I was different. We not the same. So yeah, when they were arrested, police found that Bittaker had over 500 pictures of young girls.
Oh, good job, Shittaker.
Shittaker, that's a good one. We'll call him that. Later, when he was on trial, he said that he had buried a lot of the pictures because not only did they take pictures of like future victims, they took pictures during the rapes and the murders. And
a lot more, as unfortunately we will learn to know.
Yeah, you kind of cut out there. I didn't know what you said. Anyways.
I pressed my mute button too early. I said no.
Caleb's drunk. I'm
a little drunk.
On June 24th, 1979, they claimed their first victim, a 16-year-old girl named Lucinda or Cindy Schaefer. Cindy was picked up near Redondo Beach, where Norris forced her into the van. He then duct taped her mouth and tied up her arms and legs. Bittaker drove the van down a fire road, out of sight from the highway, near some San Gabriel Mountains. And it's like a canyon-type area. In a documentary on YouTube, they literally like take you up the same road and like all the shots where like the pictures were taken and everything. Like it's fucked up. Hold on. What, Madeline? She literally came in here just to give me sunflower seeds.
It sounds like Maddie.
Yeah, so they parked the van and both of these fucking shitheads raped her. After this, Bittaker grabbed a straightened out wire coat hanger and wrapped it around her throat. He tightened it with a pair of pliers and strangled her to death.
Fuck.
Yep. And when they found her body, the coat hanger was literally the size of a silver dollar, dude.
Jesus.
That's how tight they wrapped it around her neck. It's fucked. Like, I'm shaking right now. I can hardly even picture it. They wrapped her body in a plastic shower curtain and dumped her into a nearby canyon. They literally just like threw her over the ledge of where they were.
They just threw her into the bushes, right?
Yeah, it was like really overgrown canyon.
Because they show a shot of that.
Yeah, they do. Boy. They picked up an 18-year-old girl named Andrea Hall while she was hitchhiking on July 8th. Norris, this one fucks me up so bad, dude. Norris hid in the back of the van while Bittaker talked her into getting in. Once she was in, he offered her a drink from the cooler in the back of the van. When she got up to get it, Norris jumped her, tied her up, and taped her mouth closed. They took her to the same fire road that I stated earlier, and both of them raped her several times. Bittaker then dragged her from the van, and Norris left to go get more beer. When he came back, Andrea was gone, and Bittaker was looking at Polaroids he had taken of her during her torture, her murder, everything.
And was this the time? Was this the time that, like, because I read about Bittaker and Norris had this weird thing where one of them would, like, they would be torturing them together, and then one would be like, "Okay, I'm gonna go for a walk," and then the other one would go in. They would do all their shit. Like, they'd leave. They'd show them, like, pictures of each other of, like, you know, what they did, and then the other one would leave, and they'd be like, "All right, I'm going on a walk," and they'd literally leave for like an hour.
There was one instance, and I'm fucking sorry, I fucked this up, but where it was one of the victims, and I think Norris went to the front of the van to literally throw up. Like, your body is telling you this is fucked up, and you still continue to do it.
And this was right after he raped her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the whole thing is, he was okay with raping her, but right when it got to the torture, he was like, "Oh, I can't stand this. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Really? Like, you just
fucking piece of shit,
just tortured her in another way. Like, that's all you did."
Okay, this is pretty graphic, but the torture consisted of, like, breaking their bones with sledgehammers. And not only was it physical torture, but there was a lot of mental torture. Like, they would tell these girls, like, "Oh, we're not going to kill you. We'll send you home right now. Don't worry, it's almost over." And then they would kill him, or they would tell him to scream louder, and then they would tell him to act like you like it. And then, like, the audio tapes of these girls, like, well, from what I've read, I couldn't find the actual audio tapes. They were like, "Well, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm just trying to, like, stay alive right now." Like, oh, it's so fucked up.
The thing is, there are brief snippets of this tape that you can find, and the parts of it that you can find are from jury members running out of the courtroom while they're listening to the tape, because they played the entire near 20-minute tape in the courtrooms. And when these girls, it was first probably early 40s, late 30s woman running out of the courtroom, like crying, getting ready to vomit. And you can hear some of the screams from the tape from Shirley Ledford. And that is what you hear in this. You can find the transcript online from pretty much the entire tape. And it is one of the most
fucks me up.
It is one of the most fucked up things you will ever read, especially after hearing the brief little audio stints of her screams. And just knowing, like, that could be at any part of the transcript. We don't know where that is, and we don't know when it gets worse, because when you read the transcripts, just imagining what she felt in these instances are one of the most fucked up things ever. Like Bree said, it was kind of like, you know, him telling her, I'm going to say a little bit of it. I'm going to keep it brief because you guys can look it up. I will say this is very graphic, but it was pretty much like, you know, suck daddy's dick, tell me you like sucking it, stuff like that. Tell me that you want me to come, stuff like that. And her having to repeat these things to get him to pretty much stop beating her. And it pretty much kept going and it kept going. And this was Shirley Ledford in specific. But when it kept going, he raped her vaginally, he raped her anally, and pretty much after each session, he pulled out his pair of pliers and he began to rape her and pretty much tear apart her insides with said pair of pliers.
Insides and her genitalia were mutilated by the pliers.
Yes, and it got so bad to the point that when Norris came in, that it was said that Norris pretty much, they would go in turns of raping. Bittaker would go first most of the time, or at least maybe all of the time. I'm not sure. I wasn't, you know. But he would go first and Norris would go second. But Norris even said that after this session, specifically with Sydney, he was not able to continue and he was not able to rape this girl because her genitals and her anus were already so mutilated and bloody that he couldn't do anything. And he actually, you know, he did fellatio, which, if you guys don't know what fellatio is pretty much oral sex. He pretty much forced her to perform oral sex on him, and then they continued to do the sledgehammer thing. They hit her over 25 times in the elbow with a sledgehammer, pretty much breaking her bones more and more each time, until finally the audio tape pretty much ends with her saying, "Just kill me. Just please get it over with. I can't do it."
She was begging for them to kill her, dude. It's
It's one of the most
Yeah.
fucked up things I've ever read. I'm not gonna lie, like it's really bad.
So yeah, when Norris got back, Bittaker was looking at the Polaroids. He had stabbed her in both ears with an ice pick and then strangled her, then threw her body over a cliff.
So, did you see the clip of him saying of the I don't know if it was a judge specifically or if it was an attorney asking him if he'd ever handled an ice pick and him saying
Yeah,
no?
he said
That
no.
that
Fucking
makes me
liar.
so fucking angry.
Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, there's evidence. There is fucking so much evidence
You
against you, and you're
fucking
gonna sit
recorded
up here.
yourself.
I hate is not a strong enough word
No, it's not.
for what I
It's
fucking
not.
feel towards these guys, dude. Like, this is by far the most angry I've ever fucking been at a case, dude. Ugh. Okay. So, anyways, on September 3rd, while driving near Hermosa Beach, they spotted two young girls sitting on a bench and offered them a ride. The two girls were Jackie Gilliam and Leah Lamp. Jackie was 15 and Leah was 13. They accepted their offer, but the girls became suspicious when Bittaker parked near a tennis court in the suburbs. And it's fucking crazy because there was people playing tennis.
Yeah.
And
And let's
she
reiterate
actually got the
again.
door open.
This is a 13 and a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah. They actually got the door open, and then Norris, like, just in time, like, covered her mouth and brought her back into the van. And he told the people, like, that were outside, oh, she's just having a bad acid trip. They could have saved her fucking life, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
that is the most ridiculous thing.
it's,
Like, even I don't know. I feel like I've had friends that are on a bad acid trip, and even if you are, that's usually a time to help someone, even if
it's
your friends
usually
are
a
saying
time to
like, "Oh,
fucking
she's on
step
a
in.
bad acid trip." Like, no, yeah, maybe you should help that person anyway, because maybe this person is probably on. If they even if you're on a bad acid trip, this person is probably on a bad acid trip too, because this person is, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to go down well. I have literally
Nope.
seen people almost jump off of roofs from bad acid trips. So, maybe you should fucking help anyway.
Yeah, but they didn't. Yeah, so Norris hit her over the head with a bat, and then a small fight broke out. But with Bittaker's help, Norris was able to, like, get the girls down and tie him up. They headed back to the classic fire road that they frequented. They kept the girls alive for 2 days, torturing and raping them the entire time with a coat hanger and pliers. And during this time, dude, like, the girls would be tied up. They would give them, like, sleeping pills and everything, and they would literally, like, sleep next to these girls.
Yeah, like pretty much making like an intimate moment with these people that you're torturing.
I just can't believe any of this. They made an audio recording of these events, and yeah, that's where the tape recorder comes in. Eventually, Bittaker stabbed Jackie in both ears with an ice pick. Unfortunately, she did not die from this, so they both took turns strangling her until she died. Bittaker then started strangling Leah while Norris hit her over the head with a sledgehammer 7 times. They threw the girls over a cliff, and the ice pick was still in Jackie's head. They actually found her fucking skull with the ice pick still embedded into, like, where the ear canal would be.
And you know what? I'm just gonna say it. This is why I know that the thing that with his mother, this was. I mean, yes, this was nefarious on his end, but she definitely had something to do with this. You don't have this much pent up anger toward
Yeah.
women if nothing
No,
happened to
they
you in your life.
hated
Like,
women, dude.
you have to have something very traumatic with a woman in your life to do something like this.
And I think Norris's testimony or Bittaker's testimony, he said that on Jackie's tape, which they never actually found because Bittaker buried it.
Yeah, they
But
only found
they only found Ledford's. On Jackie's tape, like, you would be able to hear Norris saying, no, I think it was Bittaker who said it. Norris saying for Jackie to act like she was his cousin.
Oh God.
Yeah. So without a doubt, the incest between him and his mom happened. That kind of, like, solidified it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're not saying it's 100% factual, but we're saying in our minds we're.
And yeah, in my opinion, I feel that it did happen. I should have said it like that.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah. Next, on September 30th, they kidnapped a girl named Shirley Sanders. They maced her and forced her into their van. They both raped her, but luckily she escaped. She went to police and they showed her pictures of the two, and she identified them as Roy and Lawrence. They weren't arrested after this. Like, you have somebody here saying, like, okay, I was raped by these two men. Here they are. Go fucking get them. And they didn't.
And you know what? This happens time and time again. Like in our fucking
Fucking
world.
beyond me, dude.
The accountability that we have for listening to rape victims is basically non-existent. Like
Yeah.
we should take much more responsibility for not looking deeper into these things and not handling this shit. Like, it's the same thing that happened with fucking, I'm going to point this out because it's going viral right now. And it has been for like the past year-ish. R. Kelly. Like, R. Kelly had been in the, like, around for 30 fucking years. And people just kind of like moved on from things. Kind of like, oh, well, you know, it's more of like something that you just shrug off. And it's like, oh, well, they did it, but it's not that bad. And that's an ongoing thing.
The amount of times that sexual abuse is shrugged off is fucking disgusting, dude.
And not even shrugged off, blatantly ignored.
Ignored, yeah. Just fucking straight up ignored.
It is so fucked up.
And I can only imagine, you know, like in 79, how much worse this was.
And you know, in my opinion, rape is one of that, and not maybe even like aside from murder, that is the worst crime that you can do to anyone. To fucking anyone. And it is literally one of the things that in this world, especially in America, that we take incredibly lightly.
It should not be taken lightly at all.
The reason Roman Polanski is able to fucking put out movies in our world and win so many fucking awards for years and years and years. It's the reason fucking Woody Allen is able to do shit and is still respected in the industry. It's the reason that even after Weinstein is in jail, we still have people supporting. And I'm not saying like don't support the art, don't watch movies or whatever, because I get it. Weinstein has made a ton of movies, and there's a bunch of people that you are drawn to the art and not the person. And I get that. I totally get that. And I think it's kind of like it goes from person to person. Like you have to decide for yourself whether you're okay with it. I think if you understand the context, then yes, you know, watching art, listening to art, whatever that is made by a shitty person, if you understand that that person is a shitty person, you know, you're not supporting them, you're not giving money to them, etc., then yeah, you know, I get it. You know, it's hard not to because there's so much entertainment in this world that we're drawn to.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have been like holding this art so much higher than the person, and we have not been convicting these people, and then still maybe like, you know, if you want to appreciate the art, you do. I think that's really fucked up. I think that's really fucked up. I'm not the person to say, hey, don't listen to this person. Don't involve yourself with anything that this person does. Because sometimes you might even do it accidentally. But you have to know. You have to know what these people do. You have to be aware of what they've done. You need to know what they're convicted for. And if you don't, you know, make an effort to find that out.
Definitely.
I don't know. That's my 2 cents. We can move on.
Next, on October 31st, they kidnapped 16-year-old Lynette Ledford, raping and torturing her while they were driving around LA instead of going to their usual hideout. And Lynette was leaving a Halloween party. And it's fucked up because she got a ride home from some dudes at the Halloween party, and they stopped at a gas station and they asked her for money, and she didn't have any. So they kicked her out. And then she went hitchhiking, and that's when she came into contact with Bittaker and Norris.
Yep.
Bittaker stabbed Lynette several times and tortured her with pliers. The entire time of her torture, her screams were tape recorded. Also, while Bittaker repeatedly beat her elbows with a sledgehammer, demanding that she stop screaming. Eventually, he strangled her with a wire coat hanger, using the pliers to cinch a loop around her neck. This time, they decided to leave her body on a random front lawn in Hermosa Beach to see a reaction in the newspapers. They put her in, it was like a bed of like poison ivy, or like an ivy bush or something like that. And they posed her body with her legs open for just another thing to degrade her.
Yep. Another thing similar to the Black Dahlia case, where you just want to show your despicable crimes to the fucking world.
Yeah. She was found the next day, only a few days after the arrest of the hillside strangler, Angelo Buono. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry.
Dumb name.
Okay, so this whole time, Norris had been telling his prison friend, Joseph Jackson, or Jimmy Dalton, they're probably both fake names. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, I've read up on these
Yeah,
guys. I think they're both fake names. I don't think either of them
yeah,
are real. Like
I'm pretty sure
legitimately.
they
That's
would
not.
want to use a fake name because he's been in prison, you know, and he has charges and everything. So I understand why he used a fake name. But yeah,
Yeah, for once, this isn't a joke on my end. I legitimately think those are both fake names. Like those are
no,
not
yeah,
real.
legit fake names. So yeah, he had been telling his friend all about the murders, and Jimmy didn't take any of it seriously until the news about Lynette came out. So he contacted his lawyer, and they went to the Redondo Beach police. Paul Bynum was the detective assigned to the case. Paul Bynum was then assigned to the case. Norris had also told his friend that there had been 3 more incidents where they had kidnapped or attempted to kidnap girls, but they either escaped or were released. In one story, Norris had stated that he had maced a young girl and dragged her into his van. He and Bittaker both raped her before releasing her. This matched a police report filed by Robin Robeck on September 30th. And although she reported this to police, they were unable to identify her attackers until now. It's super fucking sad, and I'll say it at the end, what happens to Bynum. But yeah, I'll keep going. Bynum immediately dispatched an investigator to Robin's house in Oregon. They showed her multiple mugshots, and without any hesitation, she was like, it was these guys. Like, 100% it was fucking Bittaker and Norris. So even though she had identified their mugshots, she was unable to identify them in a police lineup. And I'm pretty sure there's like a good psychological explanation for that. Like, you're
She's
coming
fucking
face to
terrified.
face. You're coming face to face with your fucking attackers, like these 2 guys who kidnapped and raped you. Like, you're gonna be scared out of your mind, and I understand that completely.
That's probably like the most anxiety-filled day of her life.
I can't even imagine, dude. After the 2 were linked to the rape, Norris was placed under surveillance, and he was arrested at Hermosa Beach for selling pot, of all things, and violating his parole on November 20th.
Sorry if you guys hear screaming in the background. There's like a child screaming on Bree's end.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's my nephew. He's a grumpy boy today.
He's 1, so.
Yeah, he's 1.5. So sorry about that. That same day, Bittaker was arrested at a motel where he was living for the rape of Robin Robeck. While searching Bittaker's apartment, they found several Polaroids of young girls at either Hermosa Beach or Redondo Beach, and some were even like at local high schools and shit. All of the pictures were taken without the girl's knowledge, or it seemed
Yep.
like it. Like, they fucking didn't know it. It's just fucking creepy. Gross.
It also makes you think, how often are people taking pictures of you?
Yeah, dude. That's fucking creepy.
I don't like
They
that
had
at all.
also found pictures of Andrea Hall and Jackie Gillum. They found them inside the van. Also inside the van, they found a sledgehammer, a plastic bag filled with lead weights, a book detailing how to locate police radio frequencies, a jar of Vaseline, 2 necklaces, which were later confirmed as belonging to 2 of the victims, and a tape recording of a young woman screaming and pleading for mercy while being tortured and sexually abused. It's fucked. Lynette Ledford's mom actually confirmed the voice on the tape was her daughter's. I can't imagine having to, like, confirm it.
She, I read a little bit into her. She had to listen to the full
Yeah,
entire tape, and
I think it was about 11 minutes
I
or
think
17.
everything I read, yeah, I think it's closer to 17. It's because it's
Yeah,
close to 20 minutes. She had to listen to pretty much a 20-minute torture tape of the last moments of her daughter's life, and I cannot imagine how horrid that is.
it's fucking awful. In Bittaker's motel, they also found a bunch of bottles of an acidic material. Later, investigators discovered that he had planned to use this on their next victim, and they found that out from Norris's confession.
So, do we know, was he planning to use this post-mortem? Or, like, was
I'm
it to
not sure.
dispose of the bodies, or was he planning on using this on live victims?
I'm thinking he was planning to use this on live victims because they weren't like to dispose of the bodies, they were just throwing them away
Yeah, you're
essentially.
right,
Like
because
they
he
were
was
just
kind of just
throwing all
leaving
the
them out
dirt.
in public.
Yeah. Well, the last one they
Uh,
left out in public, but the other 4 they threw them over a canyon or over a cliff or something like that. So I don't really think they would use it to dispose of the body. I think they were going to use it. I
yeah,
think,
because
in my opinion, they were going to use it to hurt while they were still alive.
Yeah, because it's not far off from what they were doing.
Yeah. So at first, Norris, of course, denied everything, but when he was shown all the evidence they had against him, he was like, all right, I'm in deep shit. So he started to confess. He confessed
Saying like a
everything, but
fucking
he was
canary.
like, he was making it sound like it was like more Bittaker than it was him. And he even went into deep details about all of the incidents and even said that their last victim begged to be killed so she didn't have to suffer the torture any longer. It said that Norris was very casual and unconcerned during this entire time, during his whole fucking conviction. I mean, his whole confession, sorry.
Oh.
Oh, fuck, dude, it's so fucked up. And like this, what's his name? Stephen K. He was actually the same prosecutor that got the Manson family murders. He was
Yeah.
the same one on that. So he is a fucking great guy. He like fought for the death penalty for these guys. Like he was so worried that like there wasn't gonna be enough evidence, but I feel like if you have as much evidence as this, you have a confession, you have tapes, there's probably DNA all over the fucking van. Like that's enough evidence. Go ahead and fucking send them straight to hell.
So I don't know if you have the same thing that I read up on, but there was actually one detective on the case. I'm not sure if it was an FBI agent or a detective or whatnot, but I read multiple accounts, multiple trusted sources that said that this officer, he pretty much, I think he committed suicide at 39, and
Yeah,
he wrote, you have the name?
That was Paul Bynum.
So yeah, he wrote in his suicide note that this case haunted him, and pretty much every time he fell asleep, he thought of this case all the
Yeah,
fucking
Paul
time. And
Bynum.
he wrote in his suicide note pretty much, take these fucking guys down.
I was gonna get to that. Paul Bynum, Stephen K said in the documentary that like he loved women, like he held women so much higher than he held himself, and that this case made Paul ashamed to be a man, and he
It
just like
makes me fucking
he
ashamed,
couldn't.
honestly.
He had like multiple mental breakdowns, like during listening to the tape. Like it's so fucked up, dude. At the trial, Norris and Bittaker were both charged with murder, kidnapping, forcible rape, sexual perversion, and criminal conspiracy. Bittaker was convicted on February 17th, 1981, and sentenced to death, but he would live for pretty much fucking 40 years. Yeah, wait,
Way
am I
too
doing that right?
long.
40 years?
That
Yeah,
sounds about right. It was 30, 40 years.
yeah. He lived for 40 more years before he died at the age of 79 on December 13th, 2019, due to natural causes in San Quentin State Prison. Norris was spared a death sentence for going on trial against Bittaker, and he tried to appeal in 2009 but was denied parole. Fortunately, Norris died on February 24th of this year, 2020, in a California medical facility in Vacaville, California.
I find that insane
So
that
they're
they
both
both
fucking
died.
dead.
They both died very close to each other too,
It's they died. Okay, so
within 3 months of each other. It's
they got
insane.
out within 2 months of each other, and they died about 2 months in between each other.
You're a
Fucking
match made in
insane, dude.
shit.
Yeah, it's fucking awful. And like it's crazy because in the documentary, Stephen K was talking about how like because Bittaker was supposed to die like quite a few times, but he kept on like making like bullshit up fucking getting cases against the prison, like even one time for giving him a broken cookie.
Oh yeah,
They're like, they gave
California
me a
is
broken cookie.
ridiculous.
Yeah. And so they're like, he was like, yeah, they gave me a broken cookie just to piss me off. And also, he filed a complaint or whatever the fuck that they wouldn't let him talk to Norris anymore.
Yeah, and it's really
Like,
fucking irritating. Like,
do you really fucking think that the guy you fucking committed these god awful, horrendous crimes with, that they're gonna let you fucking talk to him? Like, no, dude.
yeah, it
No.
troubles me
You're
how
in
many
fucking
times.
prison.
It really troubles me how many times his murder was delayed and how many times it was delayed just for him to make some bullshit excuse over something. Like it really annoys me how much we care about these people that do
It,
all these heinous crimes. Like I get it, we're more
dude,
civilized than them, we have to be above them or whatever, but you know what? I you need to be fucking tortured and murdered. I'm sorry.
in my opinion, as soon as they got found guilty with all of this evidence, They should have been taken into a jail cell and been tortured, murdered, and then shot right in the fucking head. I could give a shit less. Like, what a waste of fucking time.
That's not even enough.
Fucking money. Like, dude, what a fucking waste. Like, he is literally just a waste. Both of them are a waste of life.
Oh yeah,
And
our money has been going
Bittaker?
to their lives pretty much.
Yeah. And dude, like Bittaker had like protection all throughout the prison, like even like walking around or anywhere. But since he was on death row, like he
everywhere.
didn't get any like recreation time. He didn't get like anything like that. He did get a TV in his room though.
But the thing is, he was protected.
Yeah, he had protection.
He was protected. He was getting meals. It's fucked.
I'm sorry, you don't deserve meals. You don't reserve any human necessities because you are fucking scum. And I'm glad you're dead. I'm pissed that it didn't happen sooner, but I'm glad you're fucking dead.
Agreed.
Well, that was the case, guys. I am super fucking sweaty, and I can't wait to get out of this room.
Yeah,
that was a fucking doozy, dude. Like, I feel like I can finally breathe now. I hate talking about it.
Yeah, so fair enough. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for bearing with us for the last couple weeks and, dealing with all our issues and, back to True Crime Thursdays. We'll see how everything goes for the next couple weeks, month or whatever. Things are going to be definitely a little different until everything picks back up, but we're doing our best. So if you guys like this, if you like the episode, you like the show, go ahead and tell a friend about it because that helps a lot. Maybe they'll like it and they'll want to listen to more, and who knows, maybe they'll leave other stuff.
Hate it.
Yeah,
maybe they'll hate it and they'll come and beat us up.
That's fine too. And if you want to buy some of our merch or check out some of our stuff on our website that I should probably update pretty soon, you can go over to horrorsoupsucks.com. And if you want to leave us a review and if you want to get some free stickers, leave a review at iTunes.
Buy our hats. Buy the hats.
Do that.
Do it.
So, if you want stickers, though, because we're on stickers now, go over to iTunes, leave a review, leave 5 stars, send an email at horrorsoup@yahoo.com and say like review sticker or something, and I'll send you some stickers. And then if you want to find us on social media, we're on Instagram at horrorsoup, Facebook at horrorsoup, and I think YouTube's at horrorsoup too. And I'm also on Letterboxd at horrorsoupcaleb. I recently just reviewed, what did I review? What did I watch a minute ago?
Uncut Gems.
Yeah. That is it. I didn't like that movie. So I didn't like that movie. So shit on me. Thanks for listening, guys.
Like you liked it, but you just weren't a huge.
I kind of respect it. Didn't have fun. Thanks, guys.
Discussions for a later time.